Welcome to the stream. My name is VidiGamer. I'm going to be hosting you PC Building Simulator. If you're familiar with PCs, which I'm sure you probably are, you're going to enjoy this. So we're looking at building a monster of a machine. I'm going to just run through the tutorials just to get used to the game. I'd say it's pretty straightforward anyway, as it is, but I'm going to go and just say how to build a PC just for some of you guys, just to understand a bit about the PC logic behind building your own monster of a machine. So, how to build a PC mode. Okay, in this tutorial you will learn about the main components of a PC and how they go together. So, the first we need to remove the slide panels of the case we can install the components inside. So that's pretty straightforward, so let's do that. Alright, so in here we have our PC. So this is our inside rig. Looks like nothing's there connected for us. So it looks like we have to do all that ourselves. So our main objective is to click, hold and remove side panels. Okay, so let's remove the side panels here. Okay, so great. Set up, install the power supply unit PSU for power supply unit, short obviously. This improves the power to all the components. It lives behind the SPU mount, which needs to be removed before the SPU or PSU can be installed. So okay, we're going to do that now. So what we got to do is we've got to remove the case first in order to mount the power supply in. So let's do that. I should probably put a tutorial saying how to build. So alright, let's go to our inventory. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a we're looking for the SPU power supplies, which is this thing here. If it will come up. So we're looking for the mains. So this is what we're looking for right now. So let's install this. This is the fan plus the main power supply unit. It's the modular ports as well. So let's go back here and fit the block in. So I'm going to do that now. So there we go. That's pretty straightforward to install. I'm going to install that. And as you can see, I'm just building the computer like that. It's easy. It's very easy. You can get this game on Steam as far as I know. Not sure how much it is, but I say it won't cost you much. But if you want to understand learning how to build a PC, I'd recommend probably find this game. It'll definitely tell you how to build a PC. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, now we're going to get the motherboard in. So let's get the motherboard in. So this is what a motherboard looks like. If you can see behind the right, see it's got all your back components there. You've got your USB cables, DVI. It's got your audio, your line in, your microphone, etc., etc. So let's install that. So we're going to install that in here. So let's install that in here. I gotta take the backboard out so it'll fit nicely. So let's do that here. We're gonna pop that in here, and there we go. And now we're going to install this. So this tutorial might take, it shouldn't take too long, but after we finish this, we're going to go and get to the next part, which is basically understanding and building our own PC. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to connect the power plug in, and we're going to connect the motherboard in to the back of the power supply unit, and we're going to connect the other side of the motherboard in to the other power supply unit. Okay, now once we have that, click and hold to connect all the cables. So let's see here, install the CPU. Okay, so the CPU is basically the brains of your computer, and what it does is it performs calculations of the base info for some components that passes through the results of your CPU. So your CPU is basically your processor. So that's what it does. It's a as it says there, central processing unit. So basically, what I said in better terms is right there for you. So let's go get the CPU. See this? This is a CPU chip. This is your chip that processes everything. Okay, so for instance, I'm going to give you an idea. You got like a i5 processor, you got an i7 processor. So you can also get an i3 as well, but you want to be getting the i7 processors. So that's what the little chip is, and it goes right in there. So we're going to install it in there, and we're going to close the lid, and there we go. There's our processor in. Okay, so the CPU gets very hot and needs to be cooled by a cooler, which actually I need for my computer. But first we apply the thermal paste to CPU so it improves the conductivity between it and the cooler. So you can buy that in your local shop, and that is highly recommended because the CPU does get very, very hot. And as it says, you need thermal paste to cool it down. So we'll do that now. So now we can install the CPU cooler. There are two main cooling types, air and water. So everyone says that you should really run your computer through water, but I think, to me, I think air is just as good as water, but water is a different kettle of fish, you know what I mean? It can cause complications for your computer too. So you gotta make sure you don't have any leaking pipes, or else bang, your computer's gonna get destroyed due to a leak in the water cooling system. But I would rather run it through air if you're not that technical. But if you're getting a modified build in real life, and you know how to maintain the water reservoir, you can go with that. But that's all technical. I think we're going to be running with air for the moment. So this is what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for this CPU cooler fan. And basically that just cools down your computer. So we're going to build that. We're going to put that in. And we're going to then install the thing that everyone knows is your graphics card. Now I don't think I have a choice here. It's going to give me just whatever graphics card there is, but there's plenty of graphics cards out there. But keep in mind, if you're installing a graphics card, make sure it's hooked up to all of your motherboard, your CPU settings. Make sure it is configured with that, because some graphics cards cannot configure with your motherboard / your CPU. It has to be compatible. If you get a random graphics card 50 or maybe 30% of the time, you might just get lucky of that actually working with your whole rig. But it's always good to check and make sure that the configurations always are connected with your actual rig that you're building. So not all graphics cards can actually fit into your rig, sadly. You have to modify and check that. Okay, so we're going to build well, we're not going to build, we're going to put in our graphics card, which is this. So I don't know what graphics cards after giving me. It doesn't actually say. It looks like a standard graphics card anyway. So it does. It's got dual CPUs. It's got just the graphics processor. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really tell me. But anyway, we're going to install that in here. So what you got to do, you got to remove the side panel case. So you just move one of them just to install your graphics card. Now a lot of people can install two graphics cards. Be probably the most I put in mine. But if you have a good enough graphics card, like a let's say for example a NVIDIA TI SMI 6 gig. You should be fine with a, let's say, I don't know, well, 1060. So 160. That's pretty decent. That's at the cap I would say that you would go for. But that's what I would go for in this machine build. But then again, this is a tutorial. So anyway, you can get other graphics cards. You can get the AMD graphics cards as well. So it really depends what model you want to go for. Do you want to go for a full build of NVIDIA, or do you want to go for a full build of AMD, or do you want to go with a like there's money out there, you know. There's many graphics cards and builds out there. So yeah, make sure it all hooks up to your rig. Okay, so now we're gonna put in some memory chip. The memory chip is basically what it does is it's gigabyte RAM, and it's for basically opening up programs and have multiple programs. So realistically, games run at, let's say, between 8 at the max and 4 at the minimum. So if you had about let's say 8, if you went with 8, you'd be able to run any game. But keep in mind, you wouldn't be able to run multiple Windows. So yeah, that's what happens there. But there's another thing with that. I'm running I know this is probably a bit much, but some people, depending on what you're doing, I'm running a it's a 32 gigabyte RAM, so that's more than enough for this machine to be capable with. But this is going to give me probably a ordinary 2 or maybe 4 if I'm lucky. So let's go and put these in. So we're going to install the RAM here. Now usually I have about 4 ports, I think, but this has 2. So you just slot them in there like that. So it's going to give me probably 4x4, so which is 8. So anyway, now we're going to install the hard drive. So the last major component is the hard disk, is the H drive, right? So hard disk drive for sure. So the hard disk drive stores all the data from the operating system and programs and the user photos, music, and etc. So it's basically your hard drive. So it's your internal hard drive, which basically you can run for your operating system. You need it for your desktop, for, like I said, music, videos, all internal stuff. And then you got a external drive, which we'll get onto that in a minute. And if we don't, I'll get onto it in a minute for you guys. Which it should be able to give you a. Okay, now we're gonna put in the SATA cable. So this is your solid state drive. So basically, that's your in drive that's going to run perfectly. Now, the more I would say on the solid state drive that you get, so like you can get 1 terabyte to 2 terabytes depending on what you're doing. I haven't got much in this machine. I have to upgrade that, but we won't go into what I have in this machine. We do have some good components, but we need to swap out definitely that internal hard drive in my real machine. So I'm gonna plug it into the power supply, and we're going to connect it to a motherboard in the game. So heat. The case fans will help you keep the temperature down for moving hot air to cold air in the case. So this is going to be basically cooling down the whole component, the whole unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this here. This looks like this is our ordinary fan. Usually you can get 2 or 3 built in, depending on what you want to do. But that goes over here. And keep in mind that I would recommend every 6 months to just open up your rig and just clean out all that dust. If there is dust in the machine, it's gonna destroy your computer. So keep in mind to actually clean the fan itself, because that's where it collects all the dust. And as it's running, it's gonna spread all over your machine. So your rig does need to be cleaned every 6 months. Some people do it every month, some people do it every 3 months, but it's always good to just have a clean rig, especially if you're going to display your whole rig. Definitely clean it. Okay, so anyway, let's get on to how we just replace all the covers to protect those delicate components. Like I was saying, dust can break these easily. Your chips are so delicate in a computer. So let's get on to okay, I think I have to rotate the camera and do it. No, we're going to install the case. So basically we build the machine. It's an ordinary spec. It's just basically just your tutorial. So it's going to tell you, hey, this is how you build a computer, you know? It's not rocket science. So we're just going to install our case, and pretty much, yeah, that's it. I think the tutorial done. We just need to plug it in, really. So we get this cable, we just plug it in, get this cable, connect it all up. Now I'm going to tell you what I'm connecting. We're just connecting everything to the motherboard, and then we're going to connect our graphics card, and then we're going to plug it in, and hey, there we go, there's our computer built. That's exactly what the computer consists of. So that's how you build a PC. I don't know how long that took, but that's basically the main thing on what you do, how to build a PC. If you're enjoying this, please give me a follow as well, and make sure you write in the comments below. I want to make sure that my viewers are engaging, because if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you if I can. Alright guys, well, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much for watching. All your love and support has been grateful for this channel. Follow me over at twitch.tv and Video Gamers to see more live streams. I will be doing them very soon. Also, check out my YouTube channel and go on that Instagram and give me that follow. But for now guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a good day and peace out.